Hello, it's Wednesday, the something of March. I forgot what date it is. Good start. I painted something. Well, I painted. I started painting something. I've been doing the edge highlighting and the black lining on this Reaver Sergeant for my Golden Demon entry. Just trying to get myself back into the flow of painting things again. It took me about an hour and a half to do this. The airbrushing had already been done. But it took me about an hour and a half to do this, which is the longest I've spent sitting down painting in about a month now. The pinched nerve hasn't fully unpinched, although at this point it's pretty much gone. It's like I'm sitting down now, and I've got a little bit of tingling here, and just on the pad of this finger, and on this one, which confirms that it is absolutely the median nerve, because nothing wrong with these two fingers at all. So median nerve only affects these three fingers. So absolutely was a problem with the median nerve, somewhere up in my shoulder. It's mostly better now. It's generally a case of wake up in the morning, and my fingers will tingle, and my shoulder will hurt a little bit. But by the time I'm going to bed, everything's mostly calmed down, and my fingers tingle a tiny bit, pretty much just in this one finger, this index finger. Tingles a little bit, but is otherwise fine. So it's getting better. Thank you for everyone who suggested things to help. They didn't really help. I tried them. Nerve flossing and so on kind of just made it worse. I mean, maybe I was doing it too much. Some of the stretches just generally helped with flexibility and, you know, muscle soreness, which was good. And I'm doing those. And I've been doing more back exercises and generally working on my way to being able to get to a gym and start doing some more muscle training so that I can strengthen my lower back and my core, so that I can not suffer a problem like this again in the future. I mean, I'm also losing weight again. Way! The long winter of basically maintaining my weight for 3 months is now over. Like, for those keeping track, I lost 20 kilos last year between about, I think I started in May. It was after Golden Demon for certain. So May or June, I was at 140, and then by the end of last year, around November time, I was down at 119. That's kilograms for those keeping track. I don't know what that is in pounds or stone. Do the maths yourself. And then December, January, February, nothing. Pretty much stayed the same, fluctuated by about 2 kilos. And now I'm up to 119.9. So not quite as low as I was before Christmas, but, you know, losing it. So continuing that trend, for those that want to know, I'm just calorie counting. I've had all the tests done. There's nothing wrong with me. I just eat too much. I'm fat because I eat a lot. So I'm just calorie counting, making sure that I don't go bananas, which is great because, you know, it means you can still eat fast food as long as you know how many calories there is in it, which in England is really easy. Yeah, back on that, I'm losing weight again, which is great. So hopefully by the end of this year I'll have lost another 20 kilos and I'll be down to 100, which puts me firmly in the overweight category, which is a vast improvement, and I'll weigh less than I even weighed when I was 18, so double thumbs up for that. But on to painting. I'm sure you're also concerned about my health, so that I make videos. On to painting. This Reaver Sergeant is part of my kill team. And there's a few touch-ups need doing, mostly around here. A little bit on the shoulder pads, but not a huge amount. And obviously I need to paint all of this stuff. This is going to be behind a backpack, so you're not going to notice it as much. And a lot of the mistakes are going to get hidden with battle damage, because, you know, that's what battle damage is for, to hide your mistakes. So, yeah, I decided to have a crack at the Reaver, because I've never painted anyone in Phobos pattern armour before. I like it. it's quite easy. It's a bit more time consuming than doing the old regular, what is it? I can't remember the name of this pattern of armour. Generic pattern of armour. Obviously this hasn't had a matte coat, so it's still a lot more shiny and reflective and saturated than this one over here. But once it gets its matte coat, it will look like this because it's the exact same colours. Yeah, it was interesting to paint. This is the Push Fit Reaver from First Strike. So it's the only Reavers I've got. Not bothered with multi-pack kit or anything for that. Which was slightly harder to paint because a lot of the parts that I would have kept off in order to make it easier to paint, like this bit and this bit, were getting in the way. But I worked around it for the most part. It's going to be hard to paint the tubular trim, the tubular undersuit in the backs of the knees there, but it's the backs of the knees, so it's not a huge problem. The most interesting bit would be the abs there, just above the belt buckle, which again, doing it all the same as I did this guy. So for comparison. Yeah. Yeah, an hour and a half painting of this guy. All the edge highlighting done. I haven't done his backpack yet, but I haven't done the backpack of this guy either. I'm going to do them all at the same time, probably. I've also worked out the other members of my kill team entry from all the models that I've collected. So we've got the communications guy, focus. A bit dusty. I've been sitting on the side for a while. And I've got comms guy with his Auspex and his other arm holding pistol with the bolt rifle slung over it. And we've got the grenade launcher guy, who's like a chunk. And I've also got this guy here who's reloading, who's a generic intercessor. And with these three and these two over here, that makes 5. And I've got some eliminators from the Spearhead box set coming on the way from some eBay person who's breaking it down. Because they're the only ones I was really interested in out of that set, and I could not justify spending all that money on a full Spearhead set, especially since I'm not a big fan of the Chaos Space Marines. And I'd have to split them up and tell them it was a whole thing. I'd much rather just buy the eliminators, which I did. So I've got those coming. They may even be in the mailbox right now, as far as I know. Probably not though. So yeah, that's the guys with the camo cloaks and the big sniper rifles. I'm going to paint one of them up because I noticed that in the little trailer that Games Workshop put out for Kill Team Elites, that they were in the trailer, which definitely means that you can take at least one of them in your kill team. So I'm going to paint at least one of them for my kill team because it is a Raptors kill team, and Raptors are known for being snipers and stealthy and such, so it just makes sense. This also means I don't have to have 2 Reavers in the project, but I can have 2 Phobos pattern guys. So there's a lot of variation in the terms of models, so I can show off a lot of different skills. So the camo cloak is going to have camouflage on it, obviously. And with the intercessors' faces, I'm going to see if I can do some of the old tactical war paint on the face. It's a bit touch and go. I'm not going to do a full camouflage paint on the face, although I'm tempted to for the Reaver Sergeant. But yeah, a bit of the old macho on eyeliner going on these guys with their helmets off, because Raptors, there we go, that's in focus, just underneath the eyes there, because obviously that makes sense when you wear a helmet most of the time, but I think it will just look cool, and rule of cool wins everything in the end. So that's all I've done, but I am painting again. Today I'm also going to be filming as much as possible for how to thin paints. I have my notes with my terrible handwriting. As you may know, I'm not big on scripts, but I do need to know what I need to cover. So that notebook is basically just full of all of the different shots and comparisons that I need to do in order to be able to get across all of my points. So hopefully, at the end of today, I'll have a lot of what I need in order to be able to edit that video together. It doesn't involve large amounts of sitting down and just painting for 8 hours of the day. It does involve large amounts of sitting down and talking to a camera for a bit, but it's nowhere near as dependent upon having fine motor control in this hand. It's really weird, like, I can hold the cork, and that's fine, it doesn't give me any problems, but if I take a part off, and I try and hold it, let's say this, it's really weird sensation, like, I've been dropping parts a lot when I just try and hold them with this hand, because I'm not 100% certain where they are on my fingers, when it's really bad. So, yeah, that's, put a kibosh on that. That's probably not a good word. Let's put a stop to that. This guy, still the same. A tutorial for these guys will come eventually. I'm excited to do them, but I just haven't been able to because of the whole fingers thing, and now I need to prioritise my Golden Demon entry and get the other Space Marines painted, which basically, the way I'm going to work it is, I'm going to try and get as much as I can done on these guys. Not specifically these two, I'm going to try and get the edge highlighting done on the other entries as well. Until I get bored. And then I will go and make some Space Marines for the Space Marine video. Did I mention last week that Magor's Fiends Part 2 is already up on Patreon? It is. Has been for ages. Quite a few people have watched it now. Seems to be well liked. That's about it. Patrons will get access to How to Thin Paints before everyone else. But when that goes up on Patreon, the Magor's Fiends Part 2 will make its way to YouTube. I'm trying to keep one video on Patreon ahead of everything on YouTube at a time, if that makes sense. So, yeah, if a video appears on YouTube that's a tutorial, it means there's a new tutorial on Patreon. That's the way it works. So, Magor's Fiends Part 2, hopefully, this weekend, for everyone on YouTube, and that means How to Thin Paints this weekend over on Patreon. After How to Thin Paints, I will probably do a How to Thin Paints addendum for airbrushing. So it'll be like, it's not a full part 2, because it probably won't be anywhere near as long, but it'll just go over how I thin paints for airbrushing. And then I want to do another Hobby Essentials video. So again, as always, comment below with what kind of technique or topic you'd like me to cover. And I will do my best to cover it. And I think that's it. Nothing much else to report. Yeah, that's it. How you doing? You doing good? Good. Again, thank you to everyone for all the well wishes for my nerve thing. I know you secretly just don't care about me and just want me to make videos telling you how to paint your models. But, yeah, nah, you must like me. There goes my toothpick. Okay, that's it. You've had your lot. This has already run on a bit long. Thanks for watching. And, bye-bye. Oh, like, comment, and subscribe. All of that's YouTube stuff that you're supposed to do, that the algorithm likes. Not that the algorithm likes these videos. It's pretty much just subs that watch these. Thanks for subscribing. Right. Ramble over. I'm done. Bye-bye.